I'm Bethany, and I am an artist and author with Lunestra Art. And today I'm going to show you how to stretch water paper for all you watercolor artists out there who maybe haven't tried it before. Stretching watercolor paper is pretty important because it gets all of the warps and dents out of your paper before you really commit to a painting. So if you have had problems with water and color pooling in places you don't want it to, this should help you with that. So the supplies you'll need for this are pretty basic. You probably already have most of them if you've painted with watercolors before. But you will need a hard surface that is waterproof, preferably. You'll need your watercolor paper, a brush, and of course some water. You're also going to need some tape. So what I'm using here is called frog tape, and it is a kind of painter's tape, I believe. And that makes it really helpful because it is gentle enough on your paper that when you peel it off, it won't take the top layer of your paper with it. You can also use painter's tape, that blue stuff, and I believe you'll find those mostly in hardware stores. Now, if you're desperate, you can use just plain old Scotch tape. However, don't just lay that straight on your paper. Run it over your pants a few times or your carpet, something to take some of that stickiness off so that it won't take the paper off or harm your paper when you peel it off. Okay, so the process itself is very simple. You're going to take your paper and your hard surface and you're going to lay it down and just make sure it's flat. Then take your tape and tape down all the edges. Try and make your margins fairly even and straight. Your paint won't be getting under there, so if you're covering the whole paper, this will kind of act as a frame for you. And you can frame it like that, use it as a border. So because of that, I find it's helpful to keep these lines really straight with your tape. Okay, make sure it's stuck nice and good. Then take your brush and get it nice and wet in your water and run it over the paper until it's completely covered in water. Now take the excess water off with a paper towel. It will dry flatter if you remove the excess water that isn't soaked in, and it will help your paper to dry faster. And speaking of drying, this is where you let it dry. So while that's drying, how this works is by taping the paper down and then getting it wet. As it dries, it is pulling itself tight. So it's stretching itself so that there isn't any room for it to bend and cripple when you get it wet again with your paints. Now there'll still be some movement and lifting up when you paint, especially if you use a lot of water. However, it won't be near as much and your paper will still be much flatter when you're done than if you hadn't stretched it at all. Okay, mine only took maybe 10-15 minutes because I took off the excess water, but that's it. That's how you stretch watercolor paper. I hope you found this video helpful and that you'll follow my channel and ring the little bell to subscribe to me below. I plan to do more of these little videos for new artists who maybe don't have these more technical side of things because they taught themselves. That's it for today. Bye.